I'm Wing Commander Paul Godfrey, one of the pilots on the Battle of Britain Memorial flight. I've spent 23 years in the Air Force so far. I started off as a weapons instructor on the Harrier, moved across to the F-16 in the USA, the F-16 CJ. From there I went to the Typhoon, and I've flown Typhoon for the last few years, and have been incredibly lucky to fulfill a lifelong ambition of flying on the BBMF for the last 3 years, and today is my last day. For me, getting into a Spitfire is still, 3 years after having done it for the first time, the culmination of a lifelong dream. I grew up at Kenley Airfield in the south of London, which is a Battle of Britain airfield, and seeing the Spitfire and a Hurricane from the BBMF in 1978 at one of the air shows there made me want to be a pilot. So 30-something years later, to be able to do it is an unbelievable privilege. So every single time I get into one of those aeroplanes, I think of everyone who went before me, and I think of how lucky I am. Displaying in these aeroplanes is, although it's a real privilege, it's somewhat nerve-wracking as well. We have 6 Spitfires, 2 Hurricanes, a Lancaster and a Dakota, 2 Chipmunks on the flight. And you can imagine with the Warbirds, very, very precious airplanes with a wealth of history. So every time you get in them, you just hope you're going to stick it back on the deck and land safely at the end of it. And to be honest, although it's such a privilege to be able to display today, I think at the back of my mind it was just get it back on the ground safely, taxi her in. Because I was flying the aircraft behind me here, P-7-350, the oldest airworthy Spitfire in the world, and the only surviving Spitfire that flew in the Battle of Britain. Again, I couldn't have asked for a better way to finish my time on BBMF. So today, the first thing we did when we started up the aeroplanes, we got airborne. We actually rendezvoused out over Horncastle, and we went through quite a series of air-to-air photography shots. So hopefully they'll be out in the press soon. It's not often we get to fly the 5 Spitfires together with the Lancaster and Dakota, so we're really looking forward to those. After that, we flew back in. We had the Dakota out front, then the Lancaster, then the 5 Spitfires in a Vic formation. Until we split, we then had 3 Spitfires, the Mark 9, the 2 Mark 19s performing a tail chase display, and then the Lancaster and the 2 remaining Spitfires, the one behind me, P-7-350, and the Mark 16 TE-311, and then polished it off with the final run through with the Lancaster, and then we broke and put the aeroplanes on the deck.